Hey everyone, this is your Tuesday reading. Thank you for being here. Yes, the lighting is a little different. I didn't want it to be so bright. My eyes are needing a rest. So anyway, hi, my name's Holly, Psychic Medium. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the community. And I like to start out with the vibe of the day. And the first thing I heard Spirit say was, do what makes you happy. And I thought, well, is that for me or is that for the collective? And I immediately gravitated toward a mug with pelicans, or not pelicans, although I do adore pelicans, flamingos, with flamingos on them, bright and pink and happy flamingos. And I thought, this is not for the collective. And so I asked again, and Spirit said, yeah, that was for me. They wanted me to do what made me happy. And I think there's a message in that a little bit for other people too, a whole lot for other people, because in the process of being serious and in the process of taking care of business, so to speak, it's important to remember our own joy and happiness. So whatever makes you happy is part of creating your world of normalcy and the ripple effect that you can give to the world through your happiness. And that's part of it. These are difficult times, you all. I mean, they're getting more and more difficult every day and every hour, it seems like. So this is when it's more important than ever to remember who you are and make yourself happy as well, even in the small things. And I think it's the small things that mean the most. So when I ask Spirit, what is the message for the collective for the Tuesday vibe? What is the message that the majority of the collective needs to hear? And yeah, I wanted to talk about that one too. I thought it was important. But the one for the collective, I heard expansion or expansiveness. And so, of course, I had to get out my writable mug and put it on there. Expansive. Expanding your horizons, that phrase. And expanding your sense of, I just heard the word reality, because there is more than what meets the eye. So expand your awareness, expand your world, expand your world. That's important, because we are capable of so much more than we give ourselves credit for. And you just worry about you. You do what you need to do. Yesterday, the reading was about taking care of other people and learning how to take care of yourself for once. And today it's about let other people take care of themselves for a hot minute, and maybe they'll learn how, or maybe they'll step up, because it's somehow tied together, this sense of expanding your world and this sense of we never really know what's going on with someone else. So even though we think we may be doing them a favor, we may not be. So even though, and like with each one of the people in the community, there are people around every single one of us. And they may think they know us, but they really don't. They have no idea what's going on. So you may feel like you're doing something good for someone, and someone needs to hear this in particular. Sometimes people have to be able to figure things out on their own. And that's important. You don't like being told what to do. I don't like being told what to do. Sometimes, if we ask for help, that's different. All right. So expand your horizons, expand your awareness, expand your world. Live in a sense of expansiveness, and you will be shocked at how much you can grow spiritually, emotionally, in all ways. Okay? So cheers. Cheers to that. Oh, that is so good. Nice and warm. All right, I'm going to put this where we can see it, or where you can see it on the video, but by the time I finish, that will be cold. You can bet I'm going to warm that one up and drink it. Okay, so let's get into this. What spirit messages do we have for the cold? No, not this one. Okay. Well, okay. What do you want me to do? What does the collective need to know? Which deck do you want me to use? I haven't used this one in a really long time. I don't think I've ever used it with you guys. Um, and when I worked and did readings for people at different venues, I call it public reading work. That's just what I call it. I never used cards. So when I say I've had these for a long time, I haven't used these in a long time. In the morning sometimes, before my day job, I would get up and pull a card for myself or pull a card for friends and send it to them in a text. And it was just fun to do. So that's what I mean when I say use them. There's nothing wrong with using cards. I think they're wonderful. And I think they're wonderful if you use them, as far as I'm concerned, with how they're intended to be used, which is a tool to help you connect with spirit and the voice of spirit. Anybody can read a book. Okay? All right. So, Wisdom of Avalon. All right. This is a Colette Baron Reid deck, and it's the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle cards. Kind of a cool back. All right. So, what is the message for the collective for Tuesday? Yeah. What is the message for the collective for Tuesday? Help us to understand, and if expansiveness has something to do with it, please make that clear. Spirit guides and guardians, Mother and Father God, I hand this over to you. Please be in this space and in this reading at this time. Help me to know what the messages are for the collective. All right, what was it from this deck you wanted people to know? Because I was specifically drawn to this one, told to use this one. What is the message you have for the collective? Oh, and this is a general reading. They want me to say that. This is a general reading. It can't apply to everyone. Ooh. Okay. Let me get my glasses on. Hang on. Okay. Card 11. Nice. All right. Omens, messages, and the card is the Hawk. Now tell me, when you see a bird that large flying overhead, you don't just like stand in awe for a minute. I do. All right. I just heard incoming. So I don't think it means like a bird dropping anything on you. But I think it's incoming as in a message. So, and that word jumped out. Someone is about to get a download. Someone is about to get a message from a particular guide or guardian. A specific guide. It may even come in, I feel like for someone it's going to come in the form of words outside of yourself. So for some of you it will be the download. Some of you it will be, and when I say download, I mean like just like if the old way of, when you had to program your own laptop before you could use it, or your phone or something, or a computer. It's like you had to download software. Well, basically, that's what's happening in a spiritual download. They're downloading information into your personal hard drive. So, for some of you, it will happen that way, but for a chunk of you, and this is more than one person this is going to happen for, you'll know it when you hear it, because you'll get those cold chills. You'll get the, for some of you, catching of the breath. For some of you, it will be just this buzzy, oh my gosh, did I just really hear that? And it will be instantaneous, and you'll know it's for you, and you'll know it's a message through another living person. So it will be a living person that will say something out of the blue that's not characteristic, and you'll know immediately that was a message for you, and you need to perk your ears up and pay attention to that and really internalize it. It could also be, for some of you, a song on the radio. You're going to just flip around channels, and you're going to hear a song you haven't heard in a long time, and it's going to take you right back to a place and a time. You may even smell things related to that time period, and it's going to remind you of someone. Okay? All right. What else? That's enough. I mean, that's a pretty big message for someone to get. More than one person. All right. And these two. And that one apparently wanted to come out. All right. So let me get this one. All right. And the one that flipped out on its own, the others were just kind of like, would not shuffle back down into the deck or filtered back down into the deck. And then one at the end did pop out, and I'll show you that one. Okay, so the one that came out on its own, the King. Man, authority, male sexual energy, things pertaining to the law and justice. I think that's where we're going with this, because that is what's jumping out at me. Something pertaining to law and justice. So the king is the one who, if it's a queen in power at the time, then it's the queen. But whatever it is, in this instance, it's a king who is, I'm hearing, bringing justice and bringing the law to fruition. What I'm hearing specifically is, look, in the coming days, weeks, months, and years, there will be someone who will come in and step in. I'm also getting that feeling of Camelot. No wonder they sent me to the Avalon deck. I'm also getting a sense of a renewed sense of Camelot. I know that was thrown around a lot during the Kennedy presidency. And no, I am not talking about the guy that's... Never mind all that. It's a current events thing. Don't worry about it. It's just insanity. Anyway, but this is about someone who's coming, someone who is yet to be known in the public eye, I feel like, or is just coming onto the scene. So there's someone who is going to step in, is going to feel like a kingly, almost father figure, an authority figure that is trusted. And what I'm hearing is the field will no longer be barren. And I'm seeing that ride through Camelot when there's been death, destruction, and everything has fallen apart. And then all of a sudden, it goes, oh, and yeah, I'm getting the chills because I just thought of Excalibur. I think we are going to have our Camelot. But it's not going to happen right away. And it's going to be someone who is going to enter the scene because they know they cannot enter the public scene. That's interesting. Okay, what else have we got? Yeah, all right. Risk, love, and disruption. All right. Ooh, this time I'm getting chills on the left side of my body. Okay, we've got a dirt path for risk, a waterfall for disruption, and a stone walkway for love. All three are elements, if you will. One, I feel like the stairway is air because it's a view going up, not down, so we're walking upward. So it feels like earth, air, and water. So stability, we feel like stability is at risk. Love, that ephemeral energy that comes from a head space in this instance, not necessarily the heart, but the head. And the emotional chaos that comes from disruption. What do you want us to know about that, Spirit? And they said, okay, I'm doing all right. Great. Thank you. I like the validation. Thank you. I'll take it. I'm not being sarcastic. I will take it. But what do you want me to communicate to the collective about this? Okay. This is when you're going to get the message. This person's going to feel almost too good to be true, but isn't. Some people are divinely put in our paths. This person is going to shake things up, but in a positive way. There is someone coming up on the horizon. Just remember to hold love in your head. Help it to translate to your heart that it's real. The risk and the disruption will have to happen. And they're reminding me of a message I said to someone just the other day, that when the path is shown with where we are now and the people who helped create it, when they have to come to an understanding that they were part of creating it. It is not the time to harass. It is not the time to say, I told you so. It is not the time to be, it's just not the time. Remember, hold love in your heart, even when it's the hardest thing to do. There is someone coming. But don't wait. You still do what you need to do. And I'm getting a drink of my coffee. So you do what you need to do as an individual, as a person. You know who you are. You know what you're comfortable with. For some people, it's, staying inside and making sure everyone in their neighborhood is fed. And for some of you, it's taking care of your mental health and making sure that you are well enough to get up and function the next day. For some of you, it's going to be getting out there and marching on the street and canvassing and doing whatever. You do what you need to do. And for some of you, I'm sure there are a few people that are quite happy things are the way they are. I personally don't understand that. It's total chaos. But, okay, you do you. I'll be sure to do me. So, or be me. Just remember, it's okay to expand your horizons and your world. Thank you, Spirit. What I'm hearing is that the sign of true intelligence and compassion and understanding and wisdom is the ability to change your mind. That's the whole premise of, well, I won't get into all that. I've had to look at things. There are things over the course of my lifetime that I've changed my mind about, and I've decided, I was so gung-ho about that, and I'm not really anymore. And, maybe I do need to review some thoughts and feelings and attitudes about things. So, and it could be about anything. It could be about the most mundane things. So it's about anything and everything in your life, not just one thing. Okay, now, all right. So what else? Let's get, and some of you with that download and that, almost knocked my glasses off, with that whole message, it could be, I'm also getting that it could be just what it sounded like, and it, for some of you, will be a very personal message. So there is also, for someone, okay, if it's on a personal level, because I'm getting a whole bunch of ways to read that, okay? So there is, of course, the political, and I'm just going to put it out there. There is the political way to read that, and please give us some intervention. But on a personal level, I also feel like there's someone in the collective or someone that you know of who is waiting for someone to save them, like on a personal level, and no one can do that. No one can do that. What is that about? You gotta go to the Pulp Tarot. Yeah, let's take a look at this let's look at the personal aspect of this reading, okay? What is the personal part of the reading we just had related to someone who is waiting for someone else to come rescue them? Make them feel better about themselves, or in whatever way it is. I feel like it's in all ways. Why does someone want someone else to put in the hard work? Why does someone want someone else to rescue them? Because then that means you're always vulnerable and you can never do anything for yourself. That's a bizarre thing to me. I don't get it. All right. Help me to understand what to say about the situation, whether it's to the person who wants to be saved or the people around them and how to handle it, or what is the situation? What is the situation? I don't understand it. Help me to understand what to say to the collective Mother, Father, God, Spirit Guides, and Guardians about the situation of someone who is waiting for someone else to save them. I just heard from themselves. And the message is that unless you do your own work on yourself, there will always be a problem. Okay, and this one stayed in my hand. Okay, so 2 came out, went flying around. Wow. Ooh. Okay, yeah, this kind of backs up what the message was that I just got. We start with the Fool. Happy, go lucky, going on a little jog with the dog. And then we have the 5 of Pentacles. Now, how they got from here to here, I have no idea. But the ending is judgment. So, the 5 of Pentacles in this instance particularly is someone who is walking away and banned or barred or leaving the city gates with an infant. Life did not turn out the way this person had hoped. They started full of hope and happiness and youthfulness, and now they just feel forlorn and left alone. The trick is not to jump into the blame game, but take responsibility for the self. Because the last card is judgment. I knew someone years ago who said something, and I've always remembered it and taken it to heart. And I've said it quite a few times here about how it's not our actions, but it's not what happens to us, but it's how we react to it, is the better way to put it, I guess. So it's not about what it, and some horrible things happen to us. So don't get me wrong. Okay. I don't mean, I'm sorry. I just saw something. It's been that kind of like weekend and week, and it's only for your Tuesday reading now. Yeah, I had a really rough weekend with spirits all over the place. Just like dozens of them. I had a pray. But yeah. So there are horrible things that happen to people. There were horrible things that happened to me. However, and continue to, because none of us are immune as long as we're alive. However, it's how we react. It's how we handle them. It's whether we grow, we learn. The expansiveness message. This is a little tough love, and this could be someone you know. I feel like it's someone you know, but it's causing a great deal of grief and suffering. This person, I think, is also dealing with chronic depression, and that does not help, because then you don't know how to get out of a situation. You don't know how to move in a direction. But the Judgment card is about not saying or penalizing people for not knowing what to do. It's about taking personal responsibility, because if you don't, then there's always going to be well, but that person did this or that person said that. Take some responsibility. When we move on, when we die and we cross over, there will be an understanding of what happened to make us the way we are or were. The events that shaped us. But there's also going to have to be an understanding of why we reacted the way we did. And did we ever learn anything from it? Did it make us better people in the end? or just bitter and blaming. Yeah. They wanted me to look in the middle. Two of Swords. This is not, I mean, really, take a look at that. That is not the way anyone should want to spend their life, his or her life, their lives. That is not the way. Arms crossed over chest, always, blindfolded from the truth. Expansiveness, yet again coming up. We can't control what happened in the past, but we can control where we go in the future. And I am singing to, it's like I'm not telling you guys anything that I haven't had to do myself, and even just here recently. So it's important to take accountability, give yourself some space to heal when you need to. And I heard open it up again. And this time, what did we find? Temperance. When you give yourself the space you need to heal, and you really heal, part of healing is accountability. And then you may not be the fool just traipsing off willy-nilly, but you certainly won't feel left out in the cold, and you won't worry about your name. You won't worry about who you are when it's your time. You won't live constantly crossed and perplexed and in fear, because you will have balance. Give yourself the time you need to heal, and then, without just racing in like a foolish child, you can actually live your life and start your life from a place of centered, grounded competence and focus. That's an odd one. It's an odd message. And surprising. Use whatever mantras you need to. If you can't stand in front of a mirror and say to yourself, I love you, and you're talking to yourself, I love me. If you can't say that, something's wrong. Either you've internalized messages from others, or you're not living the life that you're meant to live. Are you proud of yourself? That is another question to ask. And if you're not, that's okay. Then figure out what you need to change so that you are. And then let the past be the past. Walk into your new expanded world with eyes wide open. And the people who don't have your best interests at heart, they shouldn't come with you. No, not into this new world of yours. Because you are getting ready to build and create something magnificent. Okay. Be well. Take care. I will see you tomorrow. Oh, I don't even know what's going on with that. I'll figure it out later. Yeah. So I'm going to do something good for me because I'm a little tired, you all, and I'm not at everyone's beck and call all the time. Please understand that. So, not even Spirit. I'm not the only person in the world who does this. So, sometimes, we have to take care of ourselves a little bit, just a little bit. And that's what I'm going to do for the rest of today. So you take care and please be good to yourself. All right. I will talk to you soon, and let's see if my little clicker works.